Hello everyone, hi-rez Kelly here, joining by hi-rez Bart, and we're going to take a look at who wore it best. Bart, let's take a look at these mid laners right
the
now.
answer's me. I wore it best.
Okay, anyway, let's take a look at Agni and Ao Kwang and who wore it best.
Well, taking a look here, you'll see the first god that we have up is going to be Agni. And Agni, a god that factored very heavily into game 1 in the series, was banned out in game 2, and you can see kind of exactly why here. MLC Stealth's most played god, second on that list, with an 82% win rate, but not to count out the best as well from Team Dignitas, with 11 games, winning 91% of them, and a 3 flat KDA. But Boosh taking the cake with 5.61 for his kill death average, although Cog Red not quite as potent with Agni.
I mean, you can look at the best right now. He's a 91% win ratio, but less games than MLC Stealth, the Boosh, and Jerby put together, or not really put together. What do you think that the best succeeds more with Agni than the rest of these players?
Well, I think that Agni as a god is just a god that is very, very safe. He's come in and out of competitive play, which is pretty funny, right? I mean, like, he's gone from being a top pick, top ban to not played at all to back to top pick, top ban without much balance changes going on. So I think across all of these players here, you can expect that a lot of them are looking at Agni as a go-to god. Now, on the other hand, with Ao Kwang, something that really, once again, you're going to see MLC Stealth probably being the top player on this god. Here he comes around in the corner. There's the noodle. And let's take a look here. Yeah, MLC Stealth with 8 games. I mean, this is really his god. 100% win rate.
I mean, the best has a 100% win rate as well.
Sorry?
The best has a 100% win rate as well.
With a 12.5 KDA. He played in 1 game and did exceptionally well.
So with MLC Stealth, do you think that teams have to give a respect ban out to Ao Kwang?
I think that with Stealth, it's tricky because Stealth plays one of the best Raws in North America. He plays the best Ao Kwang in North America, and he's very competent with Zhong Kui as well. In fact, was really the hallmark of Zhong Kui play before his original nerfs. So he's one of the players that's almost impossible to ban against, and it's going to be pretty tough, I think, for them to deal with MLC Stealth in any role.
Well, maybe we'll see MLC Stealth pick Ao Kwang or maybe get banned outright. Up next, everybody, is Game 3, casted by DM Brandon and Dry Bear.
Thanks, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. Well, welcome, everyone, to game number 3. Now, this is a match I don't think everyone expected to see. A third match?
I don't think, yeah, I mean, predictions indicate that they were going to get the 2-0. I mean, they were going to go right to finals, face either Snipe or Dig, and I think Cog Red is showing that they are a top 14. They are not a team that just barely made it. They are not a team that should be underestimated, and by taking a game off the top seed when the top seed still had the same pick order that they had in the previous game, it shows that it wasn't a fluke.
You know what's scary here? Andenster was 1-9-7 in the last match. 1-9-7. That puts him 3-10-15 overall. Playing Humbot's his third best character. Andenster not looking too hot today.
Hey, maybe we'll see Osiris.
You know.
Oh, no. There it goes.
Giannis being banned out here by Cog Prime again, first pick.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see pretty much the same thing, except this time,
there it is.
ban Thor.
There it is.
Just do it. Like, what in the world?
Last game, Gars, 10-2-14. That puts him total 14-4-18 with Thor. Don't let him have it.
Just why would you even think about it? Like, why is that even a thought in your mind? Now, what I'm looking towards is Rama maybe did pretty well early game, but then Snoopy in late game with Mercury?
He's doing well. I mean, it worked. I don't think I really expected to do it that well. I mean, early on, he got pressured out of the lane, but he didn't really
Look at this. I love this. They knew, like, you know what? I think they're going to take it away from us this time. We don't want Stealth to have this. I don't think they're really going to care about the Rama again. Ban him. Ban Ra out.
Now, they're
Smart.
also taking it away from Boosh, and Boosh did very, very well with Ra.
But
actually, so far, he's doing really well with Ra. His KDA is off the charts, around 9, actually, when you average out the games. But this also gives Aphrodite to Omega.
Now, I don't know that Devios has a lot of Chang'e practice, which is the only character in the game that can actually beat her in lane. Habwa, of course, is still available, does decently, but not a character we've seen too much. And again, we've seen Omega say, if he picks a mage, I'm not too worried about it.
That's right.
But then again, the Zhong Kui last game.
I love this pick from Cognitive Red. Barracuda loves Apollo.
Yeah.
He loves
So does Snoopy.
Apollo. Right. And Snoopy does very well with Apollo, but Barracuda just exclusively loves Apollo. In fact, I talked to him yesterday, and he said, the way I judge hunters as they come out is how good are they compared to Apollo.
Right, I mean, why not? He is the benchmark. He has a great global presence. He has a great team fight. He does a ton of damage. He has amazing CC. He is the all-in-one jack of all trades and still master of all trades.
Now, with just Apollo in tournament play, he has 6.50 KDA, and an 88% win.
That's ridiculous. Though we have seen that those win rates might not spell perfection. Right. Now we're looking at Athena going to get locked in here once again. Zhang Kui gets hovered and locked. Most likely going to see him in the mid lane for Stealth, a character that I attribute a lot of the character's success to Stealth to begin with.
Right, definitely. A lot of stats coming out there. Ennister definitely under Geb 1.0 KDA, so Geb is going to be locked in here for Cognitive Red Cross, where they have Athena. Now, of course, Athena has finally registered a loss for Cognitive Prime. We'll see if they can use it again. That's right. Zhang Kui locked in, stolen away from Divios, so we'll see if Divios can have the God Pool to recover from this.
Despite the weakness last game from Ennister, Hunbat still gets taken out, and I think that's smart. They realize, like, he might not have had the best game of his entire life, but that doesn't make him not the most potent Hunbots player in the world. Take it away, but this leaves Freya open.
It does.
Are they going to pick it?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I don't know. Hunbots, I mean, there's still tier. And we know that Ennister loves tier.
There goes Freya. Rip.
Freya getting banned away by Cognitive Prime, actually.
Yeah,
so banned
smart.
away from there. So it looks like we have 3 junglers, actually 4 junglers technically, but I don't really count Osiris anymore. He doesn't exist. And so basically, he's just going to be out of there. So Osiris, Hunbots, Thor, and Freya all gone away. They're going to go for Nemesis.
A character we don't see a lot of, but a character against this comp is beautiful, considering the fact that that ult is going to do a ton of damage. They don't have the Geb shield to mitigate it. They don't have a lot of CC around it. I mean, Athena has a little bit. Zhang Kui has a stun if you're in melee range. I like this pickup.
Is that Rom in the 5th slot?
Yeah, I mean, that's normal, right?
Yeah.
Not first picked and not banned. Just pick him last.
The 3rd most banned character in Smite right now is being picked 5th.
And there's Bastet locked in, which I'm very, very excited to see get into the hands of Ennister, a character we're not seeing a lot lately, and I don't really know why. I mean, I understand that she lost a lot of her CC immunity, but she still does a ridiculous amount of damage.
Yes.
Has great objective control. I mean, I want to see those cap. Oh, yes.
There it is.
Yes. This is the... If there's any player in the world that I attribute the success of Hercules to, it is that man over there. That is Divios.
Divios. With 14 years old, he really resonates with that tiny head Hercules. He knows where to go. And so with this full lineup here, Cognitive Red, they've got Apollo and Geb laning together, Ao Guang in the mid lane, Nemesis in the jungle, and Hercules in the solo lane. A pretty strong matchup for them. Across the way, Bastet is a character we don't really see Ennister play too much. In fact, I believe it's his 6th most played character in tournament. And so he doesn't play that character very often. But again, we've never seen Snoopy play Mercury ADC, and of course, he won.
That was, I'm still kind of on tilt about that. I love it. I mean, I love the fact that they got Apollo, but I really wanted to see him run it back.
Well, that like 48-hour team fight just killed my heart. I don't think it's pumping blood anymore.
It's just like Omega gets all the kills, and then they throw it again, and then they come back, and then there's another fire giant. Like there's,
I don't know what to do with my life anymore.
My life.
It's just over. But what's not over is us hopping into the game pretty shortly here as it's getting ready to start on up. And I'm excited to see what can happen. Now, of course, this is regardless the conclusion.
Yeah.
Like this is going to end it all. This is where the match comes to a close. And so will it be 4th seed Cognitive Red or 1st seed Cognitive Prime?
Well, I mean, we look at the EU stats, and you got to talk about how Coast and SK came and take 1-2. They were expected 3-4. They took 1-2.
Right.
It could be a repeat here. Neither team has a major advantage. We know that Cog Red wants 2nd pick. We know that Cog Prime wants 1st pick. And after this, we're going to find out who just wears it better.
Now, with so many junglers banned out, I think they really understand the fact that Cog Red's success so far has been Gars conquering Ennister.
Yeah.
And so now by pushing both junglers deeper into their God pool,
let me
can they
fix
pull
that.
it out?
It's been Gars conquering everything.
That's true. Well, look at the numbers here.
Onyx caught. I wasn't even looking at the screen. Barracuda's getting some shots off. This is trouble.
Wow. First blood, Cog Prime, knowing what's going on here. And that's the biggest thing is supports usually take either one of 2 routes. Left side of Gold Fury, right side of Gold Fury, and then they just stand there and back. And they know it. They were ready for it. They got it there quick, and they got their kill.
That was big. I mean, you look at the board right now, that's going to be worth a lot. I mean, look at Omegatron right now. Aphrodite got that kill. If there was any person on the team that I would say shouldn't get that kill, it would be Bastet or Afro. And now Afro, who's already extremely potent, is going to just dominate the early game with that experience.
Look at the stats here. Actually, looks like Ennister has never played Bastet in competitive play for the 10 weeks of Smite World Championship. So again, another debut character here. Now look at God Pool. Degars has played 12 unique gods in the history of the Smite World Championship qualifiers. Ennister's played 11. So they have about the same God pool overall, the unique characters played. So we'll see who has a deeper chart.
I mean, I just want to see the goal per minute experience. I mean, I absolutely love this. But first, the mid camps are. I love this from Ionic. He dashes through them to get to blue as fast as possible. But take a look at the goal per minute, and it's their 491 compared to the Gars, who's only 458 overall.
Amazing.
Kill to death ratio, I mean, we're also looking at 4.26 for Andy, which is incredible on an 84% win rate for COG overall. I mean, they have been such a dominant force this season. They had a little bit of growing pains in the first couple weeks, but they came back with a vengeance. Week 9, Dig didn't show up. They managed to take first seed back. Week 10, they defended that first seed by defeating Dig.
Now here's a very, very interesting spread of stats here for Gars. His win rate with Nemesis, he's played it 5 times. His win rate is 40%. He's 2-5 with Nemesis. However, he has leaps and bounds ahead of the average damage done. Average damage done per game for Nemesis played by Gars is 20,000.
Jeez. And their average game is only like 24 minutes.
That's right.
That's incredible.
So he does a lot of damage, but doesn't win that much. So we'll see if they can leverage that damage output from Nemesis.
So Ennis are taking some damage here. They're trying to keep these creeps out of the tower. They haven't lost any gold yet on the right side. And, Devios was trying to pay maybe a little bit of attention to that as he moves forward. But the Earthbreaker doesn't hit. They do lose one creep, and they take a lot of damage from the creeps themselves. Though, Omega is Aphrodite, and that damage is about to go away.
About to go away indeed. We'll see if this has picked that up again. A lot of harassment coming through. Left side actually good taunt, but of course Snoopy gets prevented by that Geb shield. Geb is just such a powerful character, but here comes Nemesis pushing the right side. Andenster avoids the Earthbreaker. Good play.
You know, in the mid lane, I'm watching Boost box with Stealth, who has 2 auto attacks at once with the Book of Demons passive, and I'm kind of thinking he's not paying attention to the possibilities here.
Uh-oh. Nemesis running through the jungle might be stealing away the back Harpies or coming back into the fight. Finding Andenster. Divios looking for the hit. There's a slow. Driving strike's available if they want to go for a great back off. Actually hitting both of them. Shields up. Divios got minions on top of him. Needs a stun. Gets the stun. There's the damage. Looking for the follow-up. Can they get Mighty Hercules or will Andenster fall? Jumps right on back.
I like that. I like the opportunity there that he took. He made sure to jump back. He realized that this might not happen the way that I want it, and he takes the safe route. And that's something that Cognitive Prime has always been very good at, is they don't overextend or overcommit to positions that aren't going to pay them massive amounts. Right there, the back off was beautiful.
It was definitely beautiful indeed. The one thing that scares me is going to be this follow-up here. Right side, you're pushing him away. But look at the stats here. I mean, as far as Aphrodite goes, there's a reason Aphrodite's been banned a lot in the last few, 2 games. 93% win on Omega when he's playing Aphrodite. He plays incredibly well. His KDA is 4.50, which is a little bit above average there. So he just plays Aphrodite straight and narrow, gets the heals out per game, does a decent amount of damage and an average amount of structure damage, but he's won 93% of his matches playing Aphrodite.
I'm looking at the fact that we're 3 minutes in. They got the early first split on left side, but there has been not very much pressure. You can see that Snoopy and Ionic are forced back, but there hasn't been really enough to warrant the push. I mean, honestly, I want to see more pressure coming out from Cog Prime. Like, you got the early kill, go for it. But now, I'm looking at Ionic. Where's he going?
I don't know. He's on his own little run out there. It's a 4-man mid-camp because reasons. And the right side, we got a 3-man mid-camp as well. Very heavy dedication to these mid-camps.
And I like Ionic's positioning here because he's not really allowing them to rotate into the right side. Jeff Himmel's looking for an opportunity, but to get through that shockwave, it's a hard call, and I think they made the right one.
Now, looking across the way, you're going to look at characters that have a decent amount of self-heal, but they have, of course, the Creeping Curse start on Hercules. And be able to get close and get that Weakening Curse off. Imagine if you'd be going for that, especially up against Aphrodite. So one of the biggest things about Aphrodite, it's hard to be able to focus her. Because she has the immunity, she has the knockback, the slow, the heal, as well as just a lot of good mechanics with stun. And so you got to make sure you time it perfectly with the Weakening Curse, and you can get a lot out of it.
You actually almost just explained Hercules and how to counter him as well. I mean, it's heal, the stun, the damage, the control. I mean, it's all basically the same, and I expect a Weakening Curse to be coming out on Cog Prime as well, because there's nothing you want to do in like leaving Hercules to a team fight. Oh, man, he got sprint, so he's going to get meditation.
So that's going to be the sprint there.
Meditation.
Meditation on Herc. It's real, just not real today. MLC Stealth in the mid lane, of course, playing that Zhang Kui. 80% win with him. Actually very strong in that damage output. Zhang Kui is a character that, I mean, he fell off for no reason, I feel. I mean, he got nerfed down pretty hard, but then once he had that knockup immunity, all of a sudden he was great.
Oh, man. You know what's funny is I was actually talking to the players yesterday. I'm like, how bad do you feel that we used to consider Zhang Kui maybe not even the best character in the game on his release when he was higher damage, CC immune, heals his whole team.
Right.
My God, and he's so potent now. Like, I just feel like the worst player on the planet. All the time.
John Quay, too good. Bastet coming to the right side, going to go look for that blue buff to pick up for Aphrodite. Of course, Omega hanging out in this area. Now, as far as the gold goes so far, 3,300 there for Anitzer across the way. We do see that Garz is currently sitting on 3,300 himself. So all tied up for the junglers. A pause coming out here to see what's going to be going on. Looks like we might have a thing coming out here. But, I mean, look at the items, right? We have boots completed for Megatron and MLC Stealth. They both have their boots. We have CDR there on Omega, penetration boots for MLC. Across the way, Boosh is sitting on his penetration boots as well. And he's going for Sprint. I mean, what's your take on Sprint on Ao Guang?
I mean, Ao Guang's major disadvantage is that he gets caught very easily. Sprint's slow immunity, coupled with the slow immunity he can gain from Slither, will keep him in a great position, make sure he can reposition for proper tornadoes, catch up to make squalls, which is a huge slow percent, and then possibly hit those very important ultimates.
Well, important ultimates they are, because looking at the average damage done by Boosh playing Ao Guang in competition, 22,000. He knocks it out of the park. He does damage with that noodle, and we'll see if he can pull it off this time around. He's going to need it. I mean, you look at the characters across the way, Aphrodite, John Quay, Athena, all very tanky. Every little bit of damage counts.
Right side again, Devios actually pressuring Omega pretty well. Omega only level 8 at this point, so he does need a little bit of damage onto those bat creeps before the birds will kill them, but back off will help him clear that, and as he hits level 9 pretty soon, he will not have that trouble anymore, considering the fact that those boots are finished as well. Now, I'm looking at Devios, he's sitting at 3,400 gold. Thanks to that early kill, Omega is just so far ahead.
Ooh, over the tornado he goes. Annister jumping right over that one. Boosh taking a lot of damage from the dual stacking items there. Amazing play. Omega's going to run away from the lane. Devios, does he have an ultimate available? Looks like he does none. That's going to be the end of it.
Yeah, we're going to see Omega be forced out pretty quickly there. Now, he still has birds available for healing. He still has his ultimate available for any kind of baits, but he does have to be careful. Yeah,
I thought he was just low HP.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
He threw birds?
Something about birds.
Oh, that's weird.
Mid-camp's getting fight for. It looks like Garz is going to get those almost uncontestedly. As we're seeing pressure, they're going to turn this one on a stealth.
Nemesis, ultimate on top. I think ultimate on top as well. Spirit Time is going to hit no one there. Into the camp, surprisingly enough. Maybe hoping to see if they do it.
Apollo.
Barracuda coming through. One more shot if he's got it. Look for the shot. Can't find it. Enoch going to take damage here on top. Snoopy will land down. Double taunt coming through. Ionic dropping low. There goes the damage from Exorcism. One more shot through the penetration. Garz gets the slow, but Ionic is already down. This could be a possible Gold Fury.
I think Snoopy waited too long. He ran out of mana. He has no contest now. He's going to be stuck under that tower. If he makes an appearance at this Gold Fury as they go for it, he will be blown up. This is a free 1,500 gold in the bank. Nothing to cover.
MLC Stealth pushing up the Gold Fury. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the fact that Hinla and Ionic are playing very differently. There's a Gold Fury going for Cog Prime, paying that now. They're 2,200 gold in the lead. But look at the supports. I mean, as far as both the last two games go, Jeff Hinla has a total of 9 assists. Across the way, Ionic has a total of 25 assists. Jeez. Over double the amount of assists. And that's because what Ionic is doing is driving the team fight. What Jeff Hinla is doing is he's stopping the initiation. He's not even the fight. He's at the forefront making sure that they do nothing, interrupting, pulling them away, peeling, being in their face. And so he's not part of the assists, but he's controlling everything they do.
You know, in that last fight, Ionic didn't really have the presence we normally see from him. The Spirit's Tempest was thrown to the wind. Nothing happened from there. Snoopy wasted all of his mana in the air, and there was just nothing going to happen. By the time they finally started to get out, the Cats were doing too much damage, too much slow. Barra finds the shot, and that's going to be it.
Look at the goal per minute here. We do see Snoopy at 323. Across the way, Barracuda is sitting at 400. So Snoopy is way behind in the gold gain. And that, as we know, is a difficult position for Snoopy to be in, especially with those slow rotations. He's got to be careful. Now, keep in mind, he is playing Apollo, who can split push like a madman.
Right. I mean, there's no way to really shut Apollo down. Once he gets started and once he starts to push that pressure, it forces rotation. Rama doesn't have that same ability, though the semi-global presence that you get from Astral Barrage, of course, as we saw in the previous fight, can pay dividends, especially if you don't see a beautiful across the sky.
That's right. I like the pun there. Across the way, the towers are taking very minimal damage. The right side tier 1 is going to be the only tower that's taken any noticeable damage for Cognitive Red. Of course, Cog Pride has the only kills on the board right now, 2-0 at 9 minutes as Gab rolls into the blue buff. We have a 2 versus 2 here, but Barracuda is so far ahead of Snoopy. Ionic is dropping low. Do they go for this? Oh, there's Anitzer. Needs a little bit of scratch. There goes the Ninetales, not going to land the Cats on the ground. They're body blocking them. Going for the Nemesis ultimate on top of Anitzer. Athena ultimate's coming through. Can it save him in time? Tornado's going to land. This could be the end of it. It's going to be. The skull hits both,
Snoopy.
Actually. Jeff Hinla coming through. Snoopy's in the ground looking for the hit. Spirit Tempest is going to hit him. It clips him and takes him out.
He finds a perfect shot, and again, we talk about covering options. He cut off the escape path while he ensured that his ADC had the ability to cut off the other side. It's 2-2 now. They're still 1,800 gold behind. They got to make something happen here. Really, I want to talk about the fact that Boosh started all of that at the mid. Right? Yes. We see them coming into lane. We see the jungler and we see MLC Stealth coming into lane. They both walk into the tornado. He takes a squall to the face. By the point where MLC could really start rotating, he was already half health. He had to control the wave. Boosh set that all in motion. Then they focus on Ionic again. You know, there's one time you're going to catch him, but going for the support repeatedly is not going to pay off the way you want it to.
It's not going to. I mean, early it does, just a little bit. Just put him behind and then deal with the rest of the match. If you look at the numbers here, Boosh is still pretty formed up. The same thing goes for Gars.
Do you see this? Oh, no. Looks like they are going to back off. Bera, very low mana right now. I thought we were going to see an invade. We're going to see a double back going in the left lane as both Gars and Snoopy managed to return to lane safely.
We almost had Stealth rotating the right side there, ended up backing away. Look at the coverage from Cog Red. They currently have 5 wards on the map, 3 on the Gold Fury, 2 on the Fire Giant. Great positioning across the board. And they're also putting them in spots that, you know, don't normally get warded as much, so they can keep it up.
Do you see Omega's in-hand gold right now, sitting at almost 2,000?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, and you look at what he's building, he already has the uncommon sash. At this point, it can be finished, but they're turning it to Divios.
Body blocked. Pushed away.
Here comes Gars. Gets a lot of damage, and he's trying to be invincible here. He's running away. He might get away from this one as MLC Stealth comes over. Boosh not nearly in time. He's not going to be good. Divios down.
Gav old Gars jumping in here looking for the follow-up. The tornado's on the ground as well. Hitting both. Stealth, Purification Speed, Spirit Steps coming through. Is going to hit Aphrodite, but just very little. Stealth going down here. Will he back off? Bastet's in the backside, very low on HP, and it's just still alive though. The tick kills off Ionic, and looking for the kill. The Boosh might go down as well. It's a double kill so far. Boosh is backing off, but what a wonderful play.
I would not try to fight that out Kwong at this stage in the game with that amount of mana, that amount of health. Is he not going to let them back? Is he actually trying to stop them? He does, but he does not find it. But the 3-for-1 is going to pay huge for Cog Prime.
Snoopy's pushing this left side tower as Apollo does well, and of course Barracuda playing Rom, not the best character for rotating, doesn't really have the major mobility to kind of get across the map like Apollo or a Neath would. Do you see the mid tower now taking a little bit of pressure, and then of course Jeff Hill's going to head on over there and pick it up. Divios is going to go with Silver Talisman to start here, just does not want to deal with the amount of magic damage across the way on Cog Prime. You got Aphrodite and MLC Stealth playing John Quay. It's a little bit too much of a combo here. As far as the junglers go though, it does look like Gars is about to finish off that Chin Size.
Which will be huge. I mean, Chin Size on Nemesis, that's the namesake.
It's gross.
That's when you can start swinging in there, put your shield on, get auto attacks off, and start really burning people down. Now, Boosh and Gars take some damage there from the Bastet bleed. Boosh is going to have a trip back to the base here, considering he's low mana, as we start to get rotations, but I think it's more of a fear factor than anything else. They don't really have the line. Though on the right side, Divios is finding himself in maybe not the best position.
Popping his mitigate wounds to eat the dot there and heal right back up. Of course, we see 3 players from Cog Prime in the mid lane pushing this tower up. Ionic is in the area, but not going to do anything about it currently. We do see the Hunters going for their standard builds. Devourer's Gauntlet into that Warrior Top B for the penetration. No item picked up after that to see what they're going to go with. Now, of course, we've seen a lot of Executioners.
I've liked the Executioner pickups too. I mean, it's providing a lot of damage into some of the more tanky builds that we're seeing. When you have items like Warlock Sash, though it doesn't give you a lot of protection themselves, being able to bleed through the small amount of protection to do very close to true damage is huge.
Well, the big thing as well is you both have very strong, bursty, physical junglers.
Right.
So once you apply the stacks from Executioner, Nemesis and Bastet are going to benefit from that, have that kind of extra damage control. Left side, Apollo sees it. Is he going to try and risk it? Popping his ultimate early, going up in there. Do they have the damage? They do not. He's going to fly on away, but this might mean a possible Gold Fury unless he swings back around.
Well, I mean, they didn't use any ultimates for that. They still have great team fight presence and control, and given the fact that they're splitting around this to check the entire area, I don't know how this is going to be answered.
So lane stats going to be bring up on the screen here as we do see Gars rotating around, trying to get that Gold Fury. But of course, Omegatron at 3.85 KDA and an 84% win loss, a very high clear here, but Divios keeps it close to the chest with that GPM. Snoopy dropping low. There's the taunt. There's the big damage. Snoopy's going to go down here. Now looking for the fall, but Ionic, he's got the ultimate, but can he get away?
He's trying to. Ionic's getting very low right now as he starts to run the tornado, taking out multiple. Can Bera find it? He's looking. I don't think he's going to see it. He's actually not going to hit anyone with that third shot. Does a lot of damage, but innately very hard to hit. Now they're going to rotate in. They do have 5 people here. The Divios mitigate wounds, ready to fight.
Slowed down. The cards on top. Taunt into the Gold Fury, bringing him close. Tornado on the ground. It's going to hit just the Gold Fury. They actually leash it away. Spirit's Tempest hitting too. Stealth is dropping low. Headless trying to ult away, but can he get it? He cannot. Boosh gets a double kill. Look for the follow-up. The Boosh has been dropped. Oh, Megatron, stun, slow, squall, tornado. Nado. Is it a triple? It's a triple kill there, or a double kill
It's
plus
not
one
over.
there.
Barracuda's already dashed. Gars gets him with the slow. Devios looking for the opportunity, finds the Earthbreaker and breaks them down.
Pops the snack up in the air and catches it in his mouth. There goes Divio showing his stuff. They're going for the Gold Fury. How many times, DM, are we going to see Cog Prime and Cog Red fight over an objective and then go back and do it again?
You know, what I want to talk about is I came into this tournament, I asked a lot of players, went onto the Reddit, went onto the forums. Everyone almost unanimously said that the 14-year-old young solo laner Devios might have been the weak link. He might have been even the weak person at the tournament, but that's the third time.
Weekend, right?
That's the that is the third time that he has single-handedly turned a team fight. And that team fight not only earned them a whole mess of kills, but got them the Gold Fury and now the lead.
You know, it's interesting to look at as well, because Divios currently is 4-4 and 17 across both games. There was something 7-6 and 19, so he's just barely over a 1.0 kill death. And so he's definitely not making the kills happen, but he's got the positioning right. Once he locks down Omega and prevents him from getting ahead, he rotates and controls the team fights with this very, very tanky play. Now, of course, he's played 2 games of Zhang Kui. This time around, he didn't get it, so he's been playing Hercules, but again, the same kind of pressure. He gets in their face and says, hey, attack me. He's just physically present, so you can't see anyone else. I mean, you're looking out into the vast landscape, and you see Divios in your face. Who are you going to attack?
I mean, you try to attack the Hercules, but then the Mitigate Wounds pops in. He's just basically invincible. I mean, after that fight, he was basically full health.
That's right. A lot of heals coming out there.
And now he has the weakening curse.
Double wards there on top of the Gold Fury. Boosh is here, but again, Boosh with an average of 22,000 damage done per game without Guang. The average is around 12 or 13.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at him now,
average.
He's already at 9,200.
Amazing.
I mean, those ultimates, the tornado placement, even the Squall has been hitting 2 to 3 people like every time.
And it's your 1-1-5 on Bastet as well. Looking for the fall from the outside. He hit it?
He did. That was very aggressive, and no counterplay coming out from Cog Red. They're just going to throw some shots out, and it looks like they're going to escape, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure they had the advantage there.
Yeah, Divios going to come in the mid lane. They're looking for the hit on stealth. Here comes Omega, though. There's the heal coming through. The birds are not going to land, but it's, of course, going to heal both of them back up. Anister is going to be linked up as well. Now, watch the Boosh. I mean, if he gets a good ultimate, this is a good fight for them.
Oh, Himla actually gets a slow and a pull on the guards, but a nice shield's going to turn this one around. Ultimate coming out. Lots of damage thrown in. And Boosh again lands the ultimate.
The Rock is immune. He can't get the damage down. Regardless, looking for the follow-up. He just needs a slice and dies. There it is. Killing off Hinla. Apollo in the air, looking for the follow-up. He's going to dive. He turns back around. At the same time, Barracuda is split pushing. What will they go for?
I don't know. I mean, Snoopy jumps in and once again wastes the end of his mana. Nice Earthbreaker, but not quite in time. Misses the driving strike. His MLC Stealth is in a bad spot. He does not have the ult. That is done for.
Those wins are harsh there.
And look at Gars. Gars rotates back over to stop Barracuda. Maybe not in the best spot, but he still saves the tier 1 as the team continues to pressure down the tier 1 in the mid lane.
This is a completely different animal we're seeing here today from Cognitive Red. They are controlling every aspect of the match, and they're going pound for pound with Cognitive Prime. Left side, we see Barracuda kind of go towards Gars, maybe shielding, reflect a little bit of the back. Now, here's the thing, right? I think a lot of people are putting their points into Cognitive Prime for winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
And now they're struggling with the 4th seed.
I mean, this is exactly what we saw in EU. Exactly what we saw in EU. This is almost point for point what we saw in the European kickoff.
Barracuda's got to back off here. Here comes a rotation coming out from Snoopy. Gars is there as well. He's turning around. He's trying to fight. Maybe looking for the kill on Gars. The shield is on cooldown. I don't think Gars can even get close enough to do this. Does he go for the ult? Oh, he's got it. He knows Ionix behind him, though. He pops the sprint, disengages. Smart play.
Look at the sentry, though. I mean, beautiful. He cleans up the ward coverage. I mean, that's how Barracuda was making those kind of bailiwick plays. But at the same time, there were so many people there and no one to help Barra and yet no aggression. I think that's the aura that Barra puts out. Like, you guys can rush me. I intend to kill all of you.
On the left side, knocking up there on Barracuda, dashing away. Jeff Hinla is here, so they're not going to go for that one. Looks like the Boosh is just holding on to the weakest tower we've ever seen in our lives. He's just standing on one wood plank, but they're still defending it. The right camp will end up going to Cognitive Prime. Damage buff now up on the Boosh. Boosh has finished off his Book of Thoth and Warlock Sash, the double stacking noodle that we know and love so well. Getting mana from both the book, passive from the book, mana from the sash, and then passive gain from his own passive. He's got so much damage. I mean, look at the charts right now. Ao Guang is currently sitting on a 324 magical damage spike. Zhang Kui is at 167. He's nearly doubling the damage from Zhang Kui.
And despite the fact that we saw Omegatron get first blood, Boosh has actually caught up in gold, caught up in experience. He actually has a slight more experience. I mean, taking a look at the experience per minute here, he's at a 714. We look at Omega, 675. So he just got into level 18. Boosh is about to hit 19.
Yarnock jumps in. Both people avoid the hit except for Jeff Hinla. Garza's here, has an ult available. In fact,
Going
9 out of the 10 ultimates in the game are active. Apollo's flying through the air. Can they find Barracuda? The helicopter's coming. He's actually going to defend the left side. The Gold Fury will be responding shortly. Which team will get it?
Well, it looks like vision control. Neither team has a massive advantage. There are strewn about sentry wards, but we're still seeing a lot of blue dots on that map. Even so, either way, I mean, this can decide a lot. I mean, the last time we saw the Gold Fury, this is where the game turned around. They had a 2,200 gold lead at peak on COG Prime, and now we're 600 gold in favor of Red right now.
Ooh, here comes a follow-up. Left side.
Looking for it.
Snoopy gets it. Barracuda is a surgeon with those shots.
The sniper aims down and finds himself another kill. Snoopy going to be forced to respawn only level 17 right now, despite the fact that his team has had Gold Furies, a lot of pressure onto towers. He should have more at this point, but Barracuda has just been an absolute monster this game.
Bush is here. Oh, driving strike, Bass going to disengage on that one as Stealth sprints back towards his tower. Left side's a 2 versus 1 situation. How has there only been 1 tower fallen?
Well, I think we're going to see that mid fall pretty soon. Left side's getting pressured, but look at the positioning here. I love this coming out from Barracuda and Jeff Himla.
It's just pushing it up. You know, it's going to spot it out. Here comes Bush, though.
The reset.
Ward on the ground. Can they get the follow-up? They need some kind of initiation. Bush is here. Bush is not wanting to go in on that one. Gold 3 is available. 4 players on the left side of the map. 4 Cognitive Prime. Cognitive Red has 3, as of course they do have a death there on Snoopy, and across the way Divios is still defending his lane. Look at that atomization. Snoopy has gone for Executioner. Barracuda has yet to make his choice, which one he wants. Divios has gotten Silver Talisman right into Runeforged Hammer.
I'm looking at Divios. He's actually still level 17 right now.
Oh boy.
Omega getting kind of close to 20, whereas Bush should be, I mean, hot on the heels of 20.
Omega's the most farmed in the game.
I mean, he got that first blood, rotated over, hasn't really been caught too much, has 1 death but 3 kills. That's pretty huge, especially in solo where you're getting so much free farm.
Oh, absolutely. Look at the active items, though. Much more active commitment from Cognitive Red. You see they've finished almost all of their actives. Across the way, we still have Aninster and Jeff Himla with no second active. Tier 1 beads on both Barracuda and, of course, on MLC Stealth. So not much commitment there to the active items, but they want to get their major core items complete. Look at the graphs. You can see the gold and experience is pretty much dead even. This match is right on the line.
So 2 things I'm noting here is that both teams have a Heavenly Agility, which is great, increases healing, makes you slow immune. Another thing is that we don't see the Weakening Curse coming out yet, or if at all, from COG Prime, whereas COG Red went into it very early to try to stop that Aphrodite sustainability.
Now we see Bush now going for his rod after his stacking items are complete. Going to take a lot of damage, adding to the pool and how much he can burst them down. Garth has gone for his Hide of the Urchin, and across the way, Aninster is committed to his Shifter Shields. A little more damage output from him, but of course we do know that Aninster loves to do the damage output with Bassett. But again, with a 40% win, I'm curious to see what he's going to do late game.
So 7-9 right now. 22 minutes into the game. Gold Fury has respawned. Mid camp's getting taken. Fire Giant still available, and still only 1 tower has been taken so far.
Amazing, but there's still a lot of gold to be gained from the Gold Fury, and that mid tower very, very weak. The left side tower is pretty low as well. I'd like to see a little bit more split pushing from Snoopy. They have the time to do it. They just have to wait for that window to open it up. Right side tower will be falling. Omega's going to get a tower for his team. Second tower of the game will go down. It looks like 1,000 gold lead and 2,000 experience lead now in favor of Cognitive Prime.
Their farm has just been stronger, especially once they picked Snoopy off in the left lane. That was so much experience, so much gold loss, and Snoopy has to play catch up, despite the fact that he's still, even with Barracuda, he just doesn't have the same presence. We're not really seeing the use of Across the Sky like you would expect.
Well, the other thing as well is Barracuda's got a much higher GPM. He's got 385 versus Snoopy's 358, so a little bit less there, and actually, you know, it's going to add up over time, especially with the Gold Fury being picked up by Cognitive Prime before. We'll see if COG Red can steal the next one. Honestly, they have to. They cannot let this snowball.
Really, Barracuda's just on fire. Like right there, immediately outboxes Snoopy. Even with the shield on him, Snoopy decided to run away.
Oh, absolutely. Talk coming out on Eonic, just looking for some kind of start here. Mid tower is still standing by a miracle. I swear to God, is that just like an after image of the tower? Is that real?
It's like the end of Sixth Sense. It's been a ghost the whole time. Sorry.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Oh, man. Don't say that to John Quay. Left tower's going to take some damage here. Snoopy backs away. Spring going through. The tower will fall. Second tower going down for Cognitive Prime. And they're systematically destroying small bits of gold and adding it up.
This is smart. I mean, this is a good play. Don't overcommit to fights they might not win inherently. Just take the towers. Use their small advantage and make it bigger, little by little. Take a brick, lay a brick on top of it until you make a wall, and then just push it down on top of them.
We're crossing the average game length of Cognitive Red's match. Then they're pushing into their late game as they cross over here. Guards on the front side.
Guards going in.
Can he find it?
He actually used the ultimate there. He's going to be forcing out. It looks like Barracuda's about half health.
It's going to end soon.
This could be a lot of trouble. Guards jumping in. Cataclysm going to hit, but not do the damage. Snoopy finally shows up to a fight, but he's looking for the kill. Can he find it? Guards
gets the kill. The cats are coming out. Snoopy dropping very low here, and he's going to wait. Rombos is going to get it. Barracuda will not let him get away with murder. The shot won't hit. Spirit's Tempest going to get Jeff Hill alone. Driving strike. Earth comes on through. The big rock is there. Inister on the back, so they cannot go back in this fight without the help of Omega's heals. Tornado on the ground. Could this be a Gold Fury or Fire Giant?
They could go for it. I mean, Snoopy's down right now, but they did lose stealth, though, which is a lot of AoE damage. Really, you're looking at Jeff Hinla at this point, who is attached to Omega, which means he's, for all intents and purposes, full health.
Squall, turning on the ground looking for Omega. He does a slow from the slice of dice. Needs some kind of protection. The ultimate is available, though. They will have that bubble. There's the heal coming out, knocking him away. Garza is dropping quite low. Omega is still alive. Inister coming back from the well. The slow, the cripple, the crit, the damage. Guards, he's dropping low. The slow will get him. Barracuda gets away.
Barracuda maybe set that one up, but it's not done yet. Andy gonna force out, I guess, a major retreat. You're gonna see the shield come out. Athena comes back full health once again, though kind of low mana. They're gonna push over towards the left side, maybe defend the Gold Fury, but that's a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Cog.
5,600 healing done by Omega, keeping his team alive there. Devious on the front line, going to try and do some damage here to Inister, but he's backing away very readily. The Gold Fury is not on anyone's mind at this point, even on Cognitive Prime, but you can see how Barracuda keeps everyone in check. I mean, every single time the Cog Red goes for an aggressive initiation, he follows him and gets a pick. Gets 2 picks, gets an ultimate snipe. He's just keeping everything safe and keeping everything fair and keeping everyone in the right place, because every time Cog Red gets aggressive, he falls up.
Why are they so afraid of Devios? He was by himself. They have the map coverage, they have the ward coverage to know who was walking in there. It was really just Devios, and they backed off of it. That's got to make you feel pretty good, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's got that fear factor. I think the biggest thing here for Cognitive Red, though, they're not really paying attention to what Cog Prime is doing. I mean, realistically, they are fighting to the shell and the Weakening Curse every time.
Now, actually, Devios gets to the mid-camp on the right side and finally hits level 20, which means Excavate is going to be swinging really, really hard. There's no longer a way to fight Hercules without Weakening Curse, which is why Jeff Hinla has opted into it.
Left side, Snoopy looking for the hit, turning on the ground. The Squall's going to come out, needs some damage. Spirit Step's coming through, not going to land. He's dropping low. Shockwave, the crit comes out for Snoopy, and they'll get it.
But look at that. He ensured that, yes, I'm probably not going to hit this ultimate, but you have a choice. Run into it or run back into Snoopy. Snoopy blew him up like the 4th of July, and they turned their sights to the Gold Fury. We're going to see Hinla go in here. He has the opportunity. Remember, he does have Magi's Blessing to stop CC.
Snoopy's not in line with where they're going. They're all backing off, but he's trying to go for it anyways. Right side, Devios is keeping Aphrodite, played by Omega, in the lane. 3 members, 4 Cognitive Prime around the area. Why are they so passive?
I don't know, but you can see the right side. The creeps will meet up here. This is a kind of a small loss in gold for Omega overall, but he can afford it. He's so far ahead. Gold Fury on the top side getting pretty low here. You're going to see Jeff Hinla rotate back in, getting slammed on by Gars. Still has his ultimate available to him. Will they decide to go for it? I think this one's free.
Great zone control. Devios is now in the mix. Now rotating over is going to be Omega. Omega spent a lot of time trying to keep Devios over there, so he couldn't rotate over, but eventually he realized I have to be there too. So I may as well just rotate over and try to defend it. But the Gold Fury will be picked up by Cognitive Red now for the 3rd time this match, just back in the Cognitive Red's favor. 1,000 gold and 900 experience. Of course, very modest at 27 minutes. In fact, almost insignificant at 27 minutes.
For all intents and purposes, this game is dead even.
Yes.
I think the Fire Giant, whichever team secures it, maybe gets a few kills off of it. If they get a clean Fire Giant, it could really decide the game.
Now, here's the thing. Snoopy and Barracuda are pretty close in gold, but Boosh and Stealth are miles apart. Right now, Stealth is sitting at 11,800 gold total. Boosh is on 13.4. He's 5-0-5 with 20,000 damage dealt overall. Boosh is controlling this.
Well, I mean, look at the items. MLC Stealth realizes he's going down a little bit too much, and in his 5th slot, you're going to see Cloak likely build into Magi's Blessing. Look across the board, and that is definitely a full Rod of Tahuti.
That's the Rod, and that's the biggest thing. We've seen Boosh make very intelligent decisions on where to place that Spirit's Tempest, locking players into bad and worse decisions as they try to maneuver around the Spirit's Tempest, of course. His tower's still alive.
I'm looking at the damage right now. Zhang has 280 magical power. Ao Kwang has 602.
Hey,
don't get hit.
Just stop. My heart can't take it.
This is where we're at. Do not get hit by anything he throws, or you will die.
Well, here's the thing, right? Graceful Winds' passive gives him 5% increase based on his maximum mana, right? Book of Thought gives him 3% increase by his maximum mana. He gets mana from Book of Thought, he gets mana from his leveling up, and he gets mana from his boots, and he also gets mana from Warlock Sash, and now he's got tons of scaling.
Right, and then all that damage stacks on top, and you get 25% more
That's right.
from Rada Tahuti.
And at this point, the tornadoes are enough to zone them out. And that's what Ao Guang has always been good at, zone control. He's the traffic controller of Smite. Put a tornado down and watch them go around it, or just put an ultimate down and watch them either eat 1,200 damage or move.
I mean, at this point, really, we're just looking at penetration. That's all he really needs for his build.
That's right. Now, across the way, we see Barracuda is going to finish off that rage. A lot of crit damage coming out from him, especially with that natural increase, with that, of course, increase to attack speed with his steroid. Across the way, I like the fact that Cognitive Red, they're not sitting on their thumbs. They're going over to the right side. They're controlling the jungle. They're stealing away little by little, pushing forward and getting that space where then if they get any kind of pick, that's a Fire Giant.
Now, I'm looking at Barracuda and Snoopy are kind of trading back and forth here, but Barra smartly walks into the jungle to clear the blue buff and increase his health pool once again by life stealing. Same thing we saw from Snoopy. But what I'm worried about is here, we are not seeing the across the skies. We've seen 1 out of 3 really make a difference. And with the grouping on the right side, why is he not just allowing Barra to go for the split push while they try to end the game?
You know, it's strange. And I think we could see a lot more split pushing from Snoopy as well. And so I feel like he's on the fence. He's like, he wants to rotate, he wants to split push, and he wants to keep Barracuda in check. You can't do all 3.
No, you
have to
definitely can't.
choose one of them. And Snoopy's not making that hard decision. And you saw that indecisiveness on top of the Gold Fury as well. Now, granted, Cog Red is a little bit in the lead for gold. Again, this insignificant, 830 minutes. But you see how they're keeping up. But Cog Prime doesn't seem like they're stressed.
Oh, we're going to see some push here. Snoopy finally getting a line into this tower as Gars finds the ultimate.
Barracuda.
Dead. He's dead. There's no way he's getting out of that one.
There's a Swift Vengeance. Swift it was indeed. Good rotation. That's what you like to see from Gars. Get aggressive. Now this tower's going to drop most likely. We do see Stealth coming through here, but I don't think they're going to really worry about him at all. Then the Gold Fury will not be available. Now they're pushing more space control. Again, it's another tower. It's more control of the jungle. They get a chance to put wards down in good places, and they're just putting Cognitive Prime in a worse and worse spot.
I mean, I love the positioning here from Ionic and Boosh. The tornado goes down to lock Omega towards the small camp. Ionic's making sure he doesn't run through it. And all the while, you have 2 major damaging physical characters burning down the left side. This could be a tier 2.
There goes the tower.
This could be 2 tier 2s.
2 tier 2s. And of course, 1,500 gold total. It's the same thing as a Gold Fury. If you get that tier 2 tower, they're going to go for it. Divya says, hey, I have a big club. Why don't I swing it at this massive tower? And it's going to smash down into bits. And it goes back to the jungle. Left side tower will go down as well. Stealth is running away.
That's Heavenly Agility. That's on cooldown for 90 seconds.
Wow.
This is a really big push right now. Cognitive Red, and I don't think anyone expected this, in Game 3 has Cog Prime on the ropes.
Now, look at the choice here for Jeff Hindla. You know that Nemesis and of course, Apollo are both characters that rely on their attacks.
I love it.
Picks up a Witch Blade. He's going to slow down their attack speed, keep them honest, and make sure that they don't get the damage they need.
I mean, it's physical protection. It's a huge aura to reduce attack speed, attack damage. It's also movement speed.
That's it.
And on a character who loves to get to the back lane, who's already very hard to aggress on, I absolutely adore this pickup. Great presence of mind from Jeff.
Beautiful, and he's always been a smart player, so like the fact that he's picked up. It's actually completed now, so that Witch Bait is picked up here. 50% of their physical power reduced by 25. By 25 of the aura, so a relatively small aura, but still close enough for him to do his work. Across the way, we do see Eonix going for an Adventurer's Blade here.
Did you just see Gars walk through the jungle? He walked past a ward, even though he had it seen, and then goes back in, but now he's in a lot of trouble. But I mean, it's Nemesis. There's a limit. But, the cat's fine him. He only hits a hand.
Barracuda
out of nowhere.
Wow.
That could be trouble. That also gives them the line to ensure that they can start gaining the control back. They take the sentry away. Now, we do have a sentry in the inventory of Ionic, but the ability for him to get in there and clean it, that's going to be difficult.
One Fire Giant can change this whole game in an instant. Inister avoids the Earthbreaker there as Jeff Hindla's on the front line. Divius wants to keep them off the Fire Giant for as long as possible. And Ionic knows that this is his moment to shine. If they go for the Fire Giant, he has to be there, and he has to be there quickly. Now, he does have the Blink on a very short cooldown. Inister forced away. No one to follow up with. There's no Ao Guang. There's no Apollo. The Boosh will not be dropped on here as they're trying to just keep them off the Fire Giant and buy time for Gars to come back up.
You know, I don't think Cog Red is really, or rather Cog Prime is really pushing their advantage here. They had a power play. For all intents and purposes, they didn't push an advantage. We don't see Barracuda split pushing. In fact, they've done nothing to control any objective. They'll finally get the tier 1.
Just Snoopy?
Yeah, he just took the Gold Fury.
No, he
reset it. He reset it.
He knows. I mean, it was a good chance, right? I mean, that's what Cog Red knows. They don't have all 5 players. They don't have the map control. And they can't really fight in open fields. So he's trying to steal away the Gold Fury, and it's good to be proactive like that. Just look for small things. If it works, it works. If they notice, run away. It's very easy. No loss, no gain, straight even.
I mean, given the fact that he's already pretty high leveled as well, I mean, he's max leveled at 20. He could have given his team a lot of gold, a lot of pressure. He didn't get it what he wanted in the end, but that's okay. They gain the vision back on the right side because they force him to the left, and they still have a sentry to counter ward if needed. needed. Now you're seeing Barracuda go back to the base. Actually, he's
going for Gold Fury again. And one thing I want to point out as well, a little bit
There's
of
no
a
way to
difference in
stop him this
itemization. That's right. They're all across the map. I mean, they could go over here, but it looks like he's able to finish off in time. One difference in itemization between the hunters. We saw Snoopy go for Titan's Bane. Barracuda's going for Deathbringer.
Right.
So this can make a huge difference on what target they're focusing.
Well, I think that's the key, is that he's not focusing on a target. He's going to try to maybe go for split push. Titan's Bane is like, we should really call it Tower's Bane for all intents and purposes. That is the split push item.
Well, it works on objectives as well. So Fire Giant and Gold Fury, a lot of single target damage coming out from those players. So of course Snoopy's going to be able to pick up that Gold Fury for free.
Just
Cognitive Prime did not see it. They were walking up and he just killed it. And so now 5,200 gold in favor of Cognitive Red, the biggest lead we've seen all game long. Of course, for those of you just tuning in, this is game number 3 in the best of 3 series. So whoever wins this wins it all. And you know Cog Red wants it more than they wanted anything in their entire life.
You know, it's rough coming in. Seed 1, Cog Prime.
Yes.
Seed 4, Cog Red, which means first round they have to fight, and it's a team kill. And, you know, that can't feel great. But, I mean, losing a tournament to your sister team is probably a lot better than losing a tournament to someone you don't normally practice with.
So we'll see if they can pull it off here. Bush is still sitting in the back. Now let's check in on his damage yet again. He looks like he's going for Polynomicon just because reasons. On the backside here, Ao Guang is going to be sitting on... He's at 606 magical power.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot
raw.
it's a lot of damage. And you see, I mean, the Bush has the Enchanted Trinket. That could be Polynomicon. I doubt it's going to be Pyth. They don't really need the Divine Ruin either, although they could pick it up.
Well, the Aura would only help Ionic anyway.
If they go into Poly, I mean, it's still a 300-shot swing to the face.
That's right. And that's the biggest thing, is that he's going to be able to get people low enough, and all he has to do is Squall, hit the basic attack, and the Tornado will finish him off every single time.
Absolutely.
He just needs that combo hit, and that's what he's looking for. Apollo's across the way. Snoopy's not in the area here. Anderson going to take a little bit of pressure jumping out of the fight. It looks like he's going to steal away the movement speed buff on the left side. He doesn't even want it. He's got a blue buff. There's only one tower remaining for Cognitive Prime, but that's the big reason why they're behind. It's just objectives.
TVO's popping Mitigate Wounds, not going to find the Earthbreaker. He's going to back off here. You can see pressure coming out, but Ionic is there to ensure that they can't stop it. Now, the issue here is, take a look at your minimap, Dry Bear.
Ooh. He's got that split push going. Of course, they're on the Fire Giant. So they're just waiting for Cog Prime to make the commitment. Do they want to go defend? Okay, we got Fire Giant. Do they want to go Fire Giant? Then we get a Phoenix.
And look at this. He places a ward down to spot out whoever might be coming. And now as Andenster walks through it, you know, there's no issue. Snoopy has forced the rotation and can now initiate for his team.
We'll see if he finds on the minions.
This is it.
Popping his ultimate. There goes the hit. Going to drive a lot of damage there. Right side going in on top. The Boosh is there. Look for the shot. The Bird's on the ground. Ooh, just barely missing the Earthbreaker there from Divius. Now Snoopy will join in on the fun. The Fire Giant is available. Will he start it? He's onside that. Oh, dropping pretty low on HP though. Of course, damage from Bastet is pretty huge. You
know, what I'm thinking here is that Cog Red did Cog Prime had a perfect defense. Oh, but he's caught. Omega's not quick, but Boosh out of nowhere. Not even an ultimate coming out from Aphrodite, but all of the ultimates are used for Cog Red.
Crit from Barracuda. It's going to be a 4-4-5 trade here. So it's a 4-4-5 lineup. As of course, one player down. It's going to be Omega. That's going to be the heal. That means Shell. That means Heavenly Agility. That means the ultimate. That means the healing. That means the stun. That was their team fight synergy. That was the glue that held together. Without him, they need to be very careful. Shield goes up on Snoopy.
That was not a good look.
Guards is there. Taunt on Himla. If they get Himla, it's a free Fire Giant. Barracuda's in the air looking for the snipe. Cannot get it. Jap Himla going down. This Fire Giant is completely exposed.
They have no pressure here whatsoever. They have got to be careful or the blow-up is going to be massive. Andy actually going to be going back to the base
here. Can't.
Well, he doesn't have the mana. He doesn't have the health. If he goes in, Devios can kill him in 2 hits.
It's a lose-lose situation. Either you go home and get Fire Giant or you go to Fire Giant and die. I mean,
there's the jump.
What do you do? There's the jump. You can jump back if you want to, but the Fire Giant is completed. Now we see a 7,000 gold lead for Cognitive Red. 4,900 experience. They've got the Fire Giant buff. The problem is Barracuda has 1,800 gold. They were keeping up so much pressure that he couldn't go home to finish off Deathbringer. He could have finished it at any time, but he never had the opportunity to go home because they were on Fire Giant the whole time.
Well, now he does have it in the arsenal. I mean, Fire Giant's a big deal, but again, we talk about how Snoopy went into Titan's Bane. That's not going to do nearly as much damage on a kit with Deathbringer auto attack bases. He has a steroid. He has the ability to make it wider and pierce. I mean, there's a lot of trouble that he can put forth. And remember, guys, once again, this is pre-patch Rama. We are playing on the last patch. This is the Circuit patch, which means Rama's still swinging very hard.
Oh, absolutely. Now, one thing to mention as well is Andenster has never lost a match against Cog Red if he gets his top 3 jugglers. This time he's playing Bastet, which has a 40% win rate in competition. And so they forced him into deep areas of his God pool, making him play Bastet, and it seems to be working.
Now, I'm looking at this mid lane here. And then you take a look at Snoopy over in the left lane, who has Titan's Bane, which means they have to try to defend both. If they turn this into a 4v4, the tower dives will be real.
But you can't. They have Fire Drive. You can't split your numbers. You have to full-on fight. You have to do it before it gets
Even if they do it, I mean, they don't have enough damage. I mean, DVL's just dived that tower, and they took 60% of that Phoenix's health bar.
And if they want Boosh, who has full accessory, there's initiation. Nemesis ult coming out there. The crit's going to come through. The Phoenix will take a lot of damage here. Left side, it's a 1 versus 1. Snoopy versus Andinster. Snoopy's dropping low. The cat's on the ground. He doesn't have the shot. He needs to get close. He dashed away. He's got the concussion. Barracuda's got the snipes. Can't get him out, but Snoopy's got the 1 versus 1. The mid Phoenix is down. Tornado Spirit
How does he keep
Dragon is coming out here. The rock comes through. It's a 2-for-0 exchange and a 2 Phoenix kill.
Are they going in? They're going for it. The tornado is down. DVO's
give it
pressure. Omega's trying to control. Eonix taking damage.
For the Titan.
It's over.
They take it out.
It's over.
Seed matchup comes through. Cognitive Prime, the most favored team going in this tournament, is eliminated.
And look at how amazing they are. Smiles on their faces. Barracuda.
Wow.
He understands that the sister team did it coming in. Nobody thought they were someone to fear. Guys, give it up for Cog Red as the stadium goes on their
Here's
feet.
the thing. Divios is 14. The rest of their team is
he even
16,
allowed to win money?
17, 17, and 18. These are just young kids coming out.
They can't even come out to dinner with us.
But these are giants. These are Goliaths. Cognitive Gaming, Cognitive Prime, they've been known forever. And this time, they came out, they were practiced, they were ready, they've been scrimming. But Cognitive Red, they had no favor. Most people I talk to, even the stats don't support it, but wow.
Wow. Absolutely phenomenal. So much all I want to do is keep yelling Boosh for the rest of my life.
Boosh.
It's like Cog Prime had magnets attached to them that just attracted dragons and raw beams and all these magical creatures, and jeez.
What a fantastic match. That came down to the banding as well, really understanding what's going on there, and that's going to be a big pick up there. So, I mean, for Cognitive Red, this is huge. They're going to the grand finals. They're going to have a best of 5 against whatever the result is, but man, was that awesome.
We're going to be checking in with hi-rez Kelly and her special guest as they talk us through what really went down in that game. Guys.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the replay here. We're going to be taking a look at exactly how Cognitive Red was able to seal the deal with this game. So we have here is a replay of really the final moments where Boosh just really makes some. This is an enormous play here. This dragon coming through the Spirit Tempest as it rolls through takes out Stealth. And why this is a really important kill is because Zhongkui is very, very good at being able to hold the base. So when they all clump up, Boosh finds his moment, is able to move in, and then as you can see, Ao Kwong, if you're able to get him into the enemy base without too much danger from people penetrating into the backline, the tornadoes will do so much damage to the Titan that they're able to just secure that win pretty easily. So let's go ahead and take a look at that once again from the top here, and want to point out a couple of things. So as you see the fight develop, Boosh is going to turn this corner, and they're going to be looking to pick up Andinster, who's really the main threat to the backline. So pause right here, and you can see kind of exactly where we are. You have Stealth trying to make his way from the left side of the screen back into the base, and the Creeping Curse coming out, so everyone gets slowed, and then as the ultimate comes through, just doing so much damage. Omega a little bit early with the ultimate. They are unable to save his teammates. They take a lot of damage from that. Divios tosses the boulder over the wall. It doesn't do any damage, but it will zone them away from the Phoenix, allowing Cog Red to move into the base there. Doing a very, very nice job, in fact, with getting themselves into the position to really take this down. And you can see all they have to do is get Geb and Hercules into the front line, and there's no way that Cog's going to be able to peel them away here. And all whole time, you have the tornadoes just ticking away on the Titan there. It's a very, very tough situation. So we have another replay here as well, which is going to be taking a look at the Gars here, looks like, as he's going to turn the corner. And this is the chase back from a Gold Fury attempt. That knockup, and the cat's coming out. They're going to try to chase down Stealth, and they're actually going to be able to convert this kill. His ultimate's now down, and this is going to allow Cognitive to look to pick up some map objectives. And as you see, they're perfectly happy to kind of wait their time, find their kills, and they did a very nice job taking out the Cog Prime team. That was a very, very strong performance by the boys of Cognitive Red. And with that final look at the game, Cognitive Red takes out Cognitive, and we have the losers check ceremony for the 3rd, 4th place on the stage. Gade, take it away.
Thank you so much, Bart. I am here with Team Cognitive Gaming, who just gave us 3 of the most insane, intense Smite games I have ever seen. Unfortunately, they will be dropping out now, but no one is going to be leaving here today empty-handed. Guys, good game. Here's your check for $6,250. All right, so coming up next, we're going to have an interview. We're going to have an interview with the winning team, Cognitive Red.
All right. Hello, everyone, and we are just waiting on right now to get someone from Cognitive Red up here to do a post-game interview. There he is. Everybody say hello to Snoopy. Snoopy, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm excited, that's for sure. I'm really happy, and I'm just energized.
So, you guys lost game 1 and then won game 2 and 3. What did you turn around to make it in those games?
Well, in game 1, we were doing pretty well, and then our mentality, we just lost a couple team fights, and we kept that good mentality and to bring it in game 2 and 3, and we pulled it out.
What do you think your strengths are over Cognitive Gaming?
I mean, Cognitive is a great team. Obviously, they're a sister team. I don't know if we have a ton of strengths, but we just played our team fights really, really well, and yeah.
Do you guys feel that you had any particular training regimens to go against Cognitive because you knew you were going to face them for a few weeks?
Well, actually, we've been scrimming Cognitive for the past couple weeks, which is kind of counterproductive just because they know our stuff and we know their stuff. So it's a toss-up, but I think that helped us a lot just to play with their aggressive nature. So.
Well, I'm enjoying the tournament right now, and hopefully you guys watching Twitch TV right now are, and everyone in the stands. But it wouldn't be anything without the admins and the staff here at the Cobb Energy Center, everyone. Let's check out EU behind the scenes, what happened there.